All right, so if we're good to go, we're good to go. Talking M3GAN, all of the good stuff, everything that we want to talk here, spoilers, and he explained all that good stuff. YouTube, why? That's all I'm gonna say. But let's talk about M3GAN. That's what we're here to talk about. So we're gonna wait and see for a couple of more people to trickle in if they want to. But we're just gonna talk spoilers here. So if you watched M3GAN, let me know in the chat box if you've already watched it or not, and what did you think about it. We're just going to be discussing some more of it here. So we're just gonna go ahead and share this on Twitter so more people know to come in here if they want to talk about the movie and a lot of other stuff. So this is what we're doing here today. So if you're trickling in here, let me know what you thought about the movie. If you watched it already, did you enjoy it? Did you not? I'm curious to know. But we're just going to go ahead and share this so more people know about this live happening right now. So we got it up here. Let me know if y'all get notifications too for these lives. I feel like it doesn't really send out as many notifications as YouTube says they do. So that's what we're here to do, is talk about M3GAN, the M3GAN movie, and all of your thoughts and your opinions on it. So let's just wait and see a little bit more. Okay. So we should be, I think, live, good, everything happening here. So we're going to pretty much just talk about the ending, talk about the movie itself. So let's get right into this movie, which I think many of us were wondering, was this going to be a hit or not? And so far in its previews and everything, it's been getting some pretty good buzz, and it's been very, very, I would say, popular. I think that a lot of people were very excited for this movie. I think after that first trailer, it sort of became this sort of meme type movie of sorts, and many people now are enjoying it. I think that we got something that was goofy, that was different, and I think that's a good thing that definitely happened for M3GAN. I think that was everything that everybody was hoping it was going to be about M3GAN, was that we were going to get a movie that was going to feel very much so like a good time, something that's going to be far different than what we were used to getting from horror for so long, because it had been a moment in horror where it was just like everything was serious, everything just was sort of like this elevated horror. I don't like to use the terms as much either, but that's pretty much what we were getting from this all. And I think now that we are here, it is definitely a good moment in horror that we are right now, where we can get movies that don't take themselves that seriously, that do things differently. Let me check my audio, y'all. Okay, so we're good there. And yeah, like, it just wants to be a goofy, fun time, and that's exactly what this movie is right here. So I'm very excited on that aspect of it. So overall, like I said, I went to go see this movie. I enjoyed it. I loved everything about it. The moments, the needle drops, everything, it worked perfectly, and I was excited once everything came to an end, because it didn't feel like the end. It felt like the beginning of something new, different that we were going to be getting, and that just made me much more excited to see what the future of M3GAN held. And so we definitely do want to see where we go with this, and I'm gonna make a M3GAN sequel theory video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that video coming out tomorrow. And that I'm just going to discuss where I think they can definitely take this movie franchise, because I think we can definitely move past the doll itself and go into something different, which I think is the best way to move with this movie, is very much so everything around our technology, and everything M3GAN can be very much so in it, which is an interesting aspect of it all. So if you watch the movie and anything, this of course is going to have spoilers. I'd like to know your opinion, whether you liked it or not, and what are you hoping to see from a sequel. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that everything is good here, so we can read the comments as well if we have any. And so let me know what you thought about it, if you liked it or not, and what, like, anything you want to talk about the movie itself. We are definitely open to discussions here with all of that, and we're gonna have a theory video coming out for M3GAN as well tomorrow on what sequel could possibly look like, all that stuff, because I think there is so many possibilities. But overall, I think that Akila Cooper and James Wan's story here was very interesting. I know many people are wondering if it was going to play out like 2019 Child's Play, and I feel like that movie was trying to be what M3GAN ultimately ended up being. And although I did like the performances and everything in that movie, and I thought it was a decent movie, Child's Play 2019, I still believe that this movie came out superior to it. And the comparisons to Child's Play, well, not the 2019, but the other Child's Play, I just don't see them, because it is a very different type of evil here. Because M3GAN is not like some human or like some like magic type of creature here. M3GAN is very much so just an AI robot, and it's more of like seeing how technology can get out of control and lead us into directions that we didn't even think we were going to go into. And M3GAN really did that throughout this whole movie. They really went in a direction that I did not even expect at all at points, and I was very excited with it. I very much so like seeing it, because it was very different than what we're used to, because M3GAN descended into this slowly, but we could tell why M3GAN was going down this path they were going in, just because of everything that they had learned and didn't learn from Gemma. I think that definitely added to the fuel, and you can definitely know that because Gemma sort of like rushed this project. She wasn't able to fine tune most of the stuff on this M3GAN, and I think that really led into what M3GAN ultimately became at the end, which was this murderous machine that was only doing what it was designed according to Gemma. Because remember, Gemma said M3GAN has to be paired with Katie, and in M3GAN's whole job and everything, her existence was to protect Katie, and that's exactly what M3GAN was doing throughout the film, or trying to do, is just protect Katie. So I think it was very much so a reliance also on having technology to take care of your kids, which is a thing that you see, I think, a lot of nowadays. And I mean, nothing wrong with kids using technology and anything, but I believe that they are becoming very codependent on it. And we saw Katie throughout the movie as well have these temper tantrums whenever she couldn't have M3GAN, and I think it sort of mirrors how we see kids nowadays. And I think it's very much a cautionary tale about technology and kids, but not just technology and kids, but I think everybody, humans as a whole population, and just using technology so much that we become so codependent on it that we don't have it. We don't know really how to act. And I think we saw that with Gemma, who didn't know how to act for her niece who had just lost her parents, and Gemma herself just lost her sister. It was sort of like there's this disconnect because we are so connected to these devices. And the disconnect in humanity just happened because of that. And I thought that was an interesting aspect the movie was exploring there, and one I hope to see in the upcoming sequel. So let me know what you thought about M3GAN if you're watching this. Did you enjoy the movie? Did you not? Have you watched the movie? Do you plan to see the movie or not? I'd like to know. Chat, leave it in the chat box right there. Like I said, there's so many possibilities they can go for a sequel here, and I'm definitely open for it. I will talk more about this in my sequel theories video coming out tomorrow, but I'll talk about it here a little bit. So pretty much at the end of the movie, and spoilers ahead, I cannot imply how many spoilers we're about to drop if you haven't watched this movie. So if you haven't watched it, this is not the video for you. Check out the movie if you want, or if you don't care about spoilers. All right, here we go. So very much so, I appreciate everybody giving a likes right now and watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We get a lot of horror content on the way. But at the end of M3GAN, what we pretty much see is that M3GAN does indeed survive. So if you see that there is this LC device there, which is mirroring the Amazon Alexa or Siri or Google Home, all of that, the LC device here begins to move on its own, and what we see is that M3GAN very much so has gone into the device because she has hijacked her way in there. Appreciate everybody who's joining and giving likes and all of that. Make sure you subscribe and let me know what you think about the M3GAN movie in the chat box, if you've watched it or not. We're talking spoilers, so I hope I'm not spoiling for anybody, but yeah, let's talk about more about this ending. M3GAN is alive, well, and she is definitely going to come back in a sequel for this franchise. So M3GAN has pretty much, I believe, uploaded herself into the cloud at this point. I believe she is leaving. She's living. I can't talk tonight, y'all. But she's living in this cloud now. And we've seen her be able to hijack different programs. She even hijacked a phone at a point to pretend that she was the other person. And so I think M3GAN has more hidden in her than she has led us to believe from this movie, and definitely we'll be seeing that in the upcoming movie. But M3GAN is alive at the end of this movie. She has hijacked Elsie, and she is now very much so in this device. She could go anywhere now and get into other devices, other dolls maybe that are powered through this, because the question is, will there be more M3GAN dolls after this? And I believe there is a possibility we could see something like that play out. As we know, that one assistant to the main boss, he actually did steal the M3GAN files, so there is definitely a possibility that he could be out there trying to make another M3GAN doll with somebody else. Now, of course, he's gone, but he definitely had to have given those files to someone else at a point. Appreciate everybody joining in, giving likes, all of that. If you're just joining, make sure that you let me know if you like M3GAN or not, and if you haven't watched it, spoilers of course, but subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk all this stuff about horror. But yeah, like I said, M3GAN definitely is going to be getting a sequel for sure. This movie costs like $12 million to make. There is no way they are not making a sequel, because I think it's already made like $3 million. So it's already like 3/4 of the way there. And then, I mean, it's already almost there. My math is not mathing today. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure this movie's going to make a good amount of money over the box office this weekend. So we're definitely getting that sequel. And I'm excited for it. I think that this is a movie that deserves a sequel. I thought it was funny. I thought it was absurd. I thought it was weird. And just a good horror to start off 2023. And one of my favorite ones I've seen in some time. Akilah Cooper, who actually wrote this, actually wrote Hellfest, also Malignant, and actually will do The Nun 2 later this year. So, M3GAN being alive and well, where do we see this doll going next? I'm pretty sure she's going to be looking for Katie in the sequel, because that is her sole mission, and she was so like bent on being the one to protect Katie in the end. And M3GAN is a very hard doll to kill, as we've seen already. So I'm curious to see, once she's uploaded herself to the cloud, how do you even get rid of that doll at this point? You know, it definitely is like a lot of homes now being connected to the cloud, like Ring cameras, also having appliances, lights, all of that being connected can mean that M3GAN can infiltrate all of this and definitely get much more bigger than we initially expected. And we could definitely see that play out in a sequel for sure, where we see a M3GAN sort of taking over and being this big beast of a like nightmare for technology. Now, is that the case we're going to see? I don't know, but I definitely would hope so. We get to see a M3GAN more fleshed out like this. This sort of like, there's this movie with Johnny Depp, and I forget the name of it, but he sort of uploads himself, and let me see if I could find it. But it was a movie where Johnny Depp plays this like really like smart guy, and he sort of like is able to like upload his conscious to the cloud of sorts. And then he's able to manipulate everything, and he eventually becomes everything. So I'm going through Johnny Depp's filmography right here, because I'm curious to see what that movie was, if I can remember it correctly. Because I think that's where M3GAN 2 might be going in. I don't know if we'll get another doll, because like I said, I don't know how they would make another M3GAN doll after everything that happened. But although at the same time, they don't know if it was the M3GAN doll that did all of those crimes, right? Because it was sort of implied it was done by somebody else. So the movie, I think, is called Transcendence. Let's see. Yeah, it's this movie by Wally Pfister. Basically, you have this scientist who very much so goes into computers and becomes everything around him through these computers. I could definitely see M3GAN doing something like that. Box office report saying that it was making 26 million. I had not seen that before. I'm gonna definitely look into that. But that's crazy. Yeah, I was hearing around 17 to 20 million, but 26 million, that's insane. It's more than doubled its budget then if it makes that over the weekend, in one weekend. So this is definitely one that we could see have some legs to run, just like we saw Barbarian and Smile and The Invisible Man, which went like close to $100 million. So that's crazy. And yes, I agree. It was a very fun time of a movie. The acapella, Titanium, just lost it in the crowd when I was hearing that happen. I was just like, no way they're doing this right now. So yeah, I did not know that, Josh. I'm definitely gonna look into that, because that's insane. $26 million. I was expecting like 17 to 50, like 20 as well. But that's crazy. That's crazy to hear, and I'm gonna be definitely looking out this weekend and see more of what M3GAN's doing, because this is definitely one of those movies that made me much more like excited to see where horror is going after all of this. So I'm excited to see where M3GAN could definitely go into after this, and horror in general. Any other horror movies anybody's looking forward to this year, let me know, because there's a ton out there. Like next week we have the Sick movie, which is coming out on Peacock, which is done by Kevin Williamson, who did Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I'm excited to watch that as well and see how that's gonna be. But yeah, this ending for M3GAN, definitely, I think we know that she has uploaded herself to the cloud, and she could definitely be going through different electronics at certain points. And I think that's definitely where we are going with this franchise. Do we see another M3GAN doll? I definitely do believe we could, especially considering the fact that nobody knew that M3GAN did any of this besides the girl and her aunt. I don't know if they would be able to prove all of this has happened either. That would just say it malfunctioned. And then another toy company might come in and try to make M3GAN. And M3GAN might find herself a way to upload herself there. That's definitely a way I could see it play out. Considering that she's in the cloud now, she might just wait for the other toy company to make another M3GAN doll. Because as I said earlier, we saw that the assistant to the boss, he stole the files, he uploaded them somewhere, and I'm pretty sure by that point he actually had sold it to another company, or he was already in the process of doing so. So this other company might come around and might actually be trying to make this M3GAN doll, and very much so try to make this new doll where M3GAN will upload herself. No, the Rotten Tomato score is a big surprise for me for M3GAN as well. That's something I did not expect, Josh. And I made a short talking about it because I was, well, I don't know if I made the short yet, but I was expecting M3GAN to fall somewhere in the 70s and the 80s, which was where the audience was. And, the audience score was a lot lower. I was surprised by that as well, because most of the people in my audience, they were laughing hysterical. Everybody was just like screaming, people were laughing, and like it just felt like a good time in that theater I was in. So I was not expecting the audience score to be as low either. I was really expecting it to be as about the same as the actually, I thought that the Rotten Tomato scores would be inverse. Like I thought the critics would have it like at the 70s, and I thought the audience would have it at like the 90s. But I don't know what happened because, like I said, most of the people in my theater, in my auditorium, were happy with this. They were very much so excited about M3GAN and everything, especially when she would sing. I thought that those were some of the most hilarious moments, or just some of her dialogue as well, or whenever they would tell her to turn off, turn on. Those were hilarious moments. So I was surprised. I will say that I was very surprised to see the audience score was in the 70s. But I don't know. Anybody watching all of that as well? What did y'all think? Did y'all like it? Did y'all not? How was your theater? Were they cracking up, or what was it? Because I thought it would be a higher score, but I don't know. We'll just see how it does at the box office now. I definitely see M3GAN also being a word of mouth movie where people will see it this weekend and then tell some people that didn't see it this weekend, go see that movie because of everything that happens. And I definitely see also the studios taking advantage of those little covers M3GAN does of those songs and going out there and putting them on like TikTok and stuff. Although I feel like they've already put a lot about the movie on TikTok and on like all these other social media, so I'm not sure if they would do all of that either. But yeah, like I said, if you're joining us, really appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications. We're talking horror. And we actually are having our M3GAN 2 theory video coming out tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, I think I'm definitely excited to see where M3GAN will go after this. I think that this is a character, a whole new horror icon. I definitely wonder if the whole talk about a Child's Play, M3GAN and Annabelle crossover of sorts would happen. Because I don't know if Annabelle is under James Wan's Atomic Monster or just with Warner Brothers, but we'll see what happens. But the Child's Play could happen because of Universal, so we'll see what that means. Yeah, I definitely do think that the first trailer was definitely a very campy trailer, and the second one very much so gave us the feelings what this movie is going to be, Josh. I do believe that, and right from the beginning, I was okay with the trailer, the first trailer. Then I found out Akila Cooper was writing the movie, and I remember Malignant, how crazy and bonkers that was. So I was like, all right, I'm getting into this movie knowing it's just going to be as crazy as that. And I was surprised how much I liked it, actually, too, as well. Yeah, I do think that's a big factor. This one was definitely something that people thought was going to be more of a horror movie, but it was definitely comedy first and then horror. It was more weird and absurd and just trying to be different. Um, yeah, we're being spoiler free right now. We're just talking more about like the movie, what we thought about it, but we can get into spoilers as well. We talked some spoilers already, but we'll definitely get into more spoilers later on. I'll give spoiler warnings and all. But yeah, we were just talking about how this movie very much so is a movie that felt that it was a uh, like right from the first trailer, it was just goofy and not in a bad way, in the best way possible. I think it was a movie that was trying to say, "Hey, I know I'm this type of movie. I'm not trying to be the scariest movie of all time, or I'm not trying to be this really terrifying film you're gonna watch. I'm this movie that's coming out to entertain you and provide you a little scares, give you a little laughter, and that's what I'm gonna do." And I think that's what M3GAN did at the end of the day. My audience really loved it. They enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing a spoiler-free review. That comes out tomorrow. I have to edit that still, so if you want to catch that as well, it'll be on the channel tomorrow. So check that out for sure. Uh, yeah, I actually did see that. Don Mancini did make a post about it. I haven't read it, but I saw people were talking about that as well. And yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Annabelle is, I think, with WB, so I don't know how that would actually happen. But definitely Chucky and also M3GAN. I could definitely see a crossover there in the future for sure, and I think that would be very interesting. I mean, I'd be okay if it's just Chucky and M3GAN to start off with. I feel like throwing in Annabelle would just be like a little bit too much, especially because Annabelle, I feel, is this demon, and I feel like that's a very much so like a different ballpark for both M3GAN and Chucky to deal with. Like, I don't even know if they would be able to deal with a demon, but I could definitely see the M3GAN and the Chucky like mashup, whatever they do with that or whatever happens. I could definitely see that for sure. But yeah, the ending is very, very interesting for real. So, spoilers ahead. I'm gonna talk about the movie. So if you haven't watched the movie, we're talking full spoilers right now. So you've been warned. It's in the title and all of that. Basically, M3GAN is this movie that deals with this like woman who works at this like toy company, and she's basically working on this prototype for a toy that's going to be, as she says, the toy that every kid will just have to have, and that's going to be the only toy they'll want, which is M3GAN. Throughout all of this, however, we see that her niece actually becomes a orphan, as her mom and her dad, and the mom being the sister to the lady who works at the toy company, they die in a car accident. So she takes over for her sister, becomes the legal guardian for the girl, which her name is Katie, and she actually introduces Katie to M3GAN, who she's been working on, and of course that's the doll that we see in the trailers and everything and up here. And we see that this is definitely a doll that very much so adapts to whoever she's with, and her sole like mission is to protect Katie. That's what the aunt says at the beginning, but the robot slowly starts to take this very seriously, very strongly, and starts to sort of, anybody who gets in Katie's way or any of that, she starts to take out, and eventually we see that the robot wants to take everybody out and just protect Katie only. This leads to her killing people and all of that, and by the end of it, it seems that they are able to take down the M3GAN, but it doesn't go that way. When the aunt and the girl Katie are leaving the house after they thought they already defeated M3GAN and everything, turns out not so fast. She's actually uploaded herself into like an Alexa, and she's moving it, and that's pretty much where the movie ends, leading us into this whole thing where M3GAN pretty much is in the cloud and can go into anything now. So that's pretty much where we are. What did you think, Jeremy? Did you like the movie now that you've watched it? I'm definitely thinking of watching it again with some of my family who hasn't watched it, so I'm excited to go back to see it. Yeah, I agree. Atomic Monster Blumhouse merger. That was insane when I first heard about it. I didn't even think that was real, and I went to look it up, and I'm just excited now because I think that they are definitely going to deliver some very, very awesome stuff. Yeah, so they actually did use another robot to try and defeat Megan as well, called Bruce. And yeah, I definitely was surprised when I heard there was another robot in this movie as well. And everybody in the theater got excited when you saw Katie put on these gloves because the way to operate Bruce was just this other robot in the movie, which you had to put on these gloves and you were able to move him around. And so the little girl Katie, that's the only way she was able to like get Megan, and she actually split Megan in half, which was insane. But Megan didn't stop there. She was still going at it. Very much reminded me of Chucky in Child's Play. You know, when Chucky's all burnt up or he's all destroyed and stuff, and he's still going at it. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, for PG 13, I thought it was good as well. And I think there is an unrated version because apparently, I remember reading this a couple of days ago. They had made the unrated, well, not the unrated, but they made an R rated version beforehand. And then it got very popular on social media, TikTok, all of this. And so I think the studio said, cut this into PG 13 so more like younger people can go watch this movie, and so they cut it down to PG 13. So there is an R rated version out there, which I do hope we're able to see pretty soon. Yeah, it probably will be on the Blu ray digital release. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for, especially. Like, I really love this movie, and I wish it was R rated because I think it would have been that much better because you can really tell when they were cutting stuff out or panning the camera away because they were trying to keep that PG 13. I feel like it would have added a little bit more. So hopefully we will be able to see that unrated version pretty soon. But yeah, Megan, by the end of it, uploaded onto the cloud. It means a lot of possibilities for what it could be for a second movie, I feel, and I'm excited and ready for that for sure. I definitely enjoyed it a lot, and I'm just excited for what comes next. This has me more excited for The Nun 2, especially that Akilah Cooper, who wrote this, is writing The Nun 2 and the story with James Wan. So I'm excited for The Nun 2. I wasn't excited at first, but then I heard about that. I'm a little more excited now. Uh, yeah, Titanium, that was crazy. Like, everybody in the theater lost it at that point. Once she just started singing that. At first, I was like, wait, what is she even singing? And then once I just started to catch on the beat and the rhythm and everything, I was just like, no way they got Megan singing Titanium out here. Very, very good. And then also, I think on the piano, she was playing a Demi Lovato song as well, which I thought was just hilarious that they had her out here doing all of these songs. And it's just funny because I think that it is just so unexpected, especially you just watch Megan do what she did when she like kills all these people, and then she just throws in an acapella, a little performance for you and everything. Also, when she went into the car and was just driving the car, I thought that was hilarious. Also, gave me vibes from like the Orphan movie last year as well when Esther's driving the car. So that was funny as well. Yeah, that was what she was playing. Toy. I don't know why what am I thinking about a Demi Lovato song? But yeah, it was hilarious. Just seeing her doing all of these things. And just being like random. The dance also. I know we had already seen it in the trailer. And that was just something that everybody knew was coming, but when it still came on the screen, it was still funny to see, especially the boss's reaction. I thought the boss was funny as well. Just his reaction to a lot of things, and how he would be pissed at the beginning, and then he loved Megan, and then he was very much so killed by Megan. It was just crazy, right? And then two, yeah, I could definitely see that happening with the Nun 2 because yeah, Origin of Evil took me by surprise because I was a like I remember watching the first one and I was like, eh, and then I was like, okay, let's give the second one a chance, and it was really good. That was Mike Flanagan, I believe, right, that directed that one, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be confusing it with another. I think I'm thinking of Oculus actually. Yeah, Annabelle Creation was really good. David F. Sandberg did that one, I remember, and I agree. I could definitely see that these movies usually get better once like the first Nun. I remember going to go see it, and it wasn't all there. I really was excited for that movie as well because I think Valak is a very creepy, weird monster, and I was excited to see what they were gonna do with a solo Valak movie. And then we got what we got with the Nun, so I'm excited to see what they want to do with the Nun too, and especially all of this time after. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if he, because I knew he did Oculus, but I wasn't sure if he did Ouija too. But yeah, definitely. That was very good, honestly. And I was surprised because I had seen the first one in anticipation to watch the second one because I didn't catch the first one in theaters, and then I went to go watch. I was gonna go watch number two in theaters, so I was like, let me catch up on the first one. And I was like a little let down, but then I went to watch the first one like the next day, and I was like, oh, they like completely like uh, made it so much better than the first one was. So yeah, I'm excited for the Nun 2 for sure. This year is full of a lot of horror. My most anticipated is The Exorcist. I'm just curious to see what they want to do with that movie, especially so many years later, and seeing what direction they could take it in. I think is going to be exciting to see. So we'll see how The Exorcist is. That's one most anticipated for sure. Evil Dead Rise also, I really am excited for that. That trailer we just got a couple of days ago really got me more excited for that movie. Like I was already excited for that, and then last year when it was supposed to come out on HBO Max, and then they moved it to next year, which is this year. So I'm hoping we get something pretty good from that for sure. And yeah, I'm excited for that for sure. But I'm ready to see what Blumhouse is gonna say about Megan after this weekend. Like Blumhouse usually moves pretty fast, so if we're getting a sequel, I'm anticipating we hear that next week, sometime after, probably Monday or Tuesday when the box office numbers come in. And if it really goes to that 26 million, yeah, we're gonna hear about this sequel really, really soon for sure because they are very much so talking about how it was just $12 million to make, even after the reshoots and all of that, and editing that down to PG-13. I think might have helped with that because more people are able to go see it. So we'll see what happens with Megan number two. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I'm definitely making a video on the theories I have for season two. Well, season two. I'm over here thinking like a show. But the sequel. Oh, I haven't seen the Green Band trailer. Actually, I'm gonna go check that out after this, for sure. Yeah, I'm surprised it is different from the Red Band. I haven't even watched the Green Band. I'm gonna look at this after this live, and I still want to make a video on Evil Dead Rise as well. So I'm definitely gonna look at that Green Band trailer. Thanks for letting me know that it's different from the Red Band. I'm gonna go look at that after this live. But yeah, like I will probably do. I probably tomorrow will have the Megan 2 season. I'm talking about Megan like it's a show. The Megan sequel theories, and I do want to still make. I need to finish my Evil Dead. Uh, oh, Green Band trailer played in front of Megan. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be checking that out after see what's in there as well because I was making my Evil Dead Rise video and I had some stuff about it already. Like I was trying to talk about different scenes, so I'm gonna check out the Green Band trailer and see maybe if I missed any scenes in that and finish my video with that. Thanks for letting me know it's different. Yeah, like so we're gonna do the Megan two theory videos tomorrow, and also we'll have the Evil Dead Rise video as well, and we'll probably do a live as well in the morning. I feel, and another live at night. We're just planning to do lives every day now on this channel, whether it's our gaming stuff or this movie talk and all of that. So we're excited to introduce more stuff to the channel as well. New scenes, I'm definitely gonna look to see what those scenes were. What y'all think about that cheese grater scene from Evil Dead? That grater scene is gonna be something, isn't it? I can already tell it's gonna be something that everybody's gonna be talking about just because already with the trailer in itself, everybody was talking about that grater scene. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna be at the end of the day for sure. Very got under my skin, especially if you ever used a grater before. But yeah, Megan is definitely going to be a very interesting movie to see where it goes for sure. Because they have an open field with Megan being able to go into cloud, being able to jump between different technology. Like, I did not expect her to have so much abilities. And it makes me wonder if you can ever defeat Megan after all of this. Who knows? Um, so yeah, I'm excited for all of that and to do all of these videos for sure. Like I said, 2023, we're coming in working like overtime, getting as many videos out. We have a couple of screenings we're going to next week, and I'm excited to talk about both movies for sure. Um, and yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming for sure. Universal's next movie, I believe, after Megan is Knock at the Cabin, which I'm curious to see how that's going to be. I'm still planning to read the book and talk more about that movie as well. And yeah, I agree. Megan does have that franchise potential for sure. Definitely. Uh, yeah, the needle in the eye is definitely one of those moments that I think in Evil Dead 2013, I just heard a lot of people in when I went to go watch it in theaters just like squirming and just like screaming about it. There's just something about sharp objects in eyes, and it just gets to everybody for sure. You just want to look away sometimes. I agree, she cannot be defeated for sure. Yeah, uploading herself into Elsie means that she is able to just hover around, and she even was able to use like somebody's phone in the movie. So I need to know what Megan's full potential is for sure. She was able to use that car basically with just herself uploading everything. So she has so much potential, and I'm excited to see anybody trying to go up against Megan. How would that even fare, right? She's just unstoppable at this point. So we'll see with Megan for sure how that's gonna be. Like I said, we'll probably hear about a sequel next week if the movie does like meet its budget or go over for sure, and I feel like it probably will, especially with all the reports and all of that. And I'm excited for Megan. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be talking more about Megan. We got some more videos planned for Megan. We're gonna make a video on the sequel or possible theories of what could actually happen. Yeah, I agree. The second trailer was definitely more like for Knock the Cabin. I felt like it kind of killed it a bit, the second trailer, because that first trailer, it was perfect. Like, I was intrigued to see, is there actually something happening or not, or are these people just making it up? And now the second trailer is telling me, no, there's actually something happening. They're not making this up. So it kind of took a little bit away of that mystery of what's going on, right? Like, there's still the mystery of why is this going on, and does these four people really have the key to stop all of this? But I really didn't need to see that there was actually all of these like messed up apocalyptic events happening, and now I know they're happening. I do believe that second trailer gave away too much, and I don't know why they felt the need to, because I think a lot of people are already interested in this movie to begin with. So I don't know. I felt like they could have held off on some of those scenes they showed in the second trailer. But I'm still excited. I'm still going to be checking it out whenever I get the chance to. And I do want to read the book and see exactly more about the story before heading into it. So we'll see what happens. It's M. Night. I'm usually a fan of M. Night, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm right now currently watching Servant on Apple TV, which is a show he does, and I enjoy it. It's on its last season, which starts next week, and I do have some videos theorizing what the ending could be for next week if anybody's interested in Servant. But it's on its final and fourth season, so we'll see how that ends. But I'm curious to see what M. Night's planning to do with Knock at the Cabin as well. But yeah, we got a ton of videos coming out this weekend, and also shorts and all of that. We do want to talk more about Megan. We want to talk as well about Evil Dead Rise. And I am planning to do some like, I don't know how to do maybe we do some watch parties for Scream before we get into Scream. I'm still sorting out how to best do that, whether do it on live or just upload the like the commentary I do on the movie itself. In anticipation for Scream and some more Scream theories as well, because there's a lot of theories out there, especially with all of the pictures and things that they share on the social media. So we got a ton of stuff, a lot of horror this year. So we're definitely going to do that. Appreciate everybody who came on to the live stream today. We got more live streams planned as well, for sure, coming this week and this weekend. So stay tuned for all of those. I'm probably going to do M3GAN round 2 tomorrow. So I'm going to be looking out for more things to talk about in that as well, so stay tuned for that. But as always, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We got a ton more videos for you. We're going live more this weekend as well, so stay tuned for that. And as always, I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe, stay positive.